All right, now, there are some just basics you need to get done before you go back to school with exams and immunizations?
Yes, so we as primary care providers really encourage getting preventative care. So part of preventative care is making sure that you get your regular checkups, and part of that checkup we're looking at physical health, we're looking at emotional health, and we're looking at wellness and being prepared and giving the kids the best chance they can to succeed with school.
Well, so you get there, you get your exam, you get your immunizations, and sometimes a lot of things don't either get talked about by the doctor or by the parents. The kids always talk about it, and they always get exposed to drugs when they go to school, no matter what age.
Yes, unfortunately, our kids can't live in bubbles anymore, and they're exposed to a lot on TV, media. They're exposed to peers, and what we want them to be is to have information before they start. So we'd like for the parents, we'd like for the providers to give them some basic information so that we feel like when they go to school, they're being educated. So one of the things we talk about is alcohol and drug awareness. The unfortunate thing is that 72% of students do consume alcohol by the end of high school. So if you think that you don't have to talk to your child about this, unfortunately you're incorrect in that. What really is scary is that actually 30% or more kids have tried alcohol before even starting high school. So that's why we really want to start talking about this in 5th, 6th grade so that we keep giving them information. We want them to have information from the parents so they're not getting their information from just their friends.
So what are maybe some warning signs that there could be something going on that needs to be addressed?
Well, some of the concerns with alcohol use is that it lets kids make bad decisions. So kids are growing, they are willing to take risks, and sometimes they make bad decisions anyway. So if you add alcohol into it, they're a better chance of making bad decisions. So when you're looking for whether or not they may be misusing alcohol is that first off, if you notice smell of alcohol, if it smells like alcohol, it might be alcohol. If you notice that their mood's changed, if they're more irritable, if they seem to be less involved, if they're isolating themselves more, that can be a sign that there might be something wrong. It's not always alcohol, but it's something to kind of look at. You want to know about their friends. You need to know who they're hanging out with, who they're being with. You want to be involved and aware. And then the other thing is if school performance changes, if they start skipping classes, used to be A and B students and now they're getting C's and D's, you need to look to see if something else is going on there.
And that's with alcohol or any drug, okay?
Right.
So another thing that, and again, that people don't like to talk about is sexual activity. That occurs in a lot of ages.
Sexual activity is one of the hardest things I think any parent has to talk about with their child. And sexual activity is actually hard for the physician to actually come and talk about with the children. They're nervous, they're kind of uncomfortable, they really don't want to open up. But the earlier you talk to kids about understanding what your morals are, what sex is, the more likely they are to listen to you. So you don't want to wait and have a discussion when they're 17 or 18. You need to start the discussion early on with age-appropriate information. So you give a little bit of information when they're starting to mature, around 5th grade, 6th grade, and then you keep giving more age-appropriate information. The more you talk to them, the more they understand what your thoughts are, the more likely they're going to follow your suggestions.
And that's the big key, whether it be alcohol, whether it be drugs, whether it be sex, whether it be study habits, it's all about communication.
It is, and one of the important things is being a good role model as a parent. Children who see their parents smoke are more likely to smoke. Children who see their parents using alcohol inappropriately are the ones that are more likely to use alcohol inappropriately. So being a good role model really is important along the way. It's not an easy thing for us to always do as a parent, but really just communicating and actually living what you're suggesting is important.
Great information.